So today we're going to talk about self acceptance and in a way that hopefully you can relate to. Self acceptance about where you are today and where were you maybe 5 years ago, even last month. I was thinking about this morning as I was journaling, and I'm not the same person even I was last month, last week. We're always expanding, stretching ourselves, growing. And we can also find ourselves, and I've seen this happen a couple of times, where we go through healing and we kind of get stuck in it. We want the next thing, the next there, the next thing, the next thing, and we push and we push and we push. But as you go through a healing of a layer, accept that that layer is being worked on. For me, when I was going through my abortion recovery, or even my healing my inner child work, and I wanted the next thing, but I also had to accept that I needed time to integrate truly what I was healing from. So it wasn't a what's next, what's next, what's next. To give yourself that space, that time to really heal your heart from that trauma, that grief of loss, the possible abusive relationship, the after from abortion, the inner child healing. There's a lot around all of this. And for me, all those things I named were so much intertwined that sometimes I couldn't see where one started and moved into the next, if that makes sense. And it can feel like sometimes that like there's more, there's more, there's more. You feel like there's more that you need to heal those energies, to heal that, like I said, the grief, the loss, the pain surrounding any of the, childhood traumas after abortion, possible abusive relationships, and what those mean to you. They mean something different for each of us. It can bring up certain memories of, oh yeah, wow, that's feeling kind of icky. But allow yourself to really integrate and move through that layer of healing that you have just worked on. It might be a week, sometimes it's months, and sometimes it's a really long time. So for me, when I woke up this morning, and I've told you guys this before, I am a 2-4 emotional projector. So I go in waves when making decisions, sometimes how I feel about things. And me right now is I have a big trip coming up to Florida to see my family for 7 days. And I love my family. I truly, truly do. And I was talking to a good friend of mine yesterday, Michelle, bless her heart. And we kind of talked about this. It's like, okay, I'm not the same person that my family knew. I have grown. I have healed. I've expanded so very much in how I love myself first and foremost, how I interact with other people, because I have healed so many layers around all the things that I've mentioned. And it's a continual journey. And when something comes up, you might ask yourself, how do I know when something comes up? If a memory is coming up and you have maybe feelings around it of pain or anger, frustration, that's a pretty good indicator, or it is for me, that I know there is something there that I need to work on. And as I approach, leaving for this trip, I knew this in my heart that I am not the same person. And I just approach life so differently than the person they knew. But there's a flip side to this too. And this is really kind of what I wanted to bring here is we have these memories of the people we know. And I'm going to put that in air quotes. They also have changed. They are not the same people that maybe you gathered together with last month, last week, 3 years ago, 10 years ago. They've also have changed. And when we move into a trip, for example, or a gathering of some sort, we can sometimes only remember the people of how they were. I'm hoping this makes sense. To me, it makes sense. And if this doesn't make sense to you, comment below and I would be more than happy to, have a conversation with you. But when we can accept that the person that we are meeting with, that we will be spending time with, not the same either. So if we, and I mean we, because I'm working on this right now, if we can go into that experience, setting aside expectations of what's an example? I know this actually isn't true, but I'm just going to kind of throw it out there as an example. As I know when I get together with my family, they're always telling me I should do this and I should do that. And why are you doing this like this? It works so much better this way. And you're like, no, it doesn't work like that for me. And that's an expectation of what you think might be happening. It's coming from our minds. It's not the truth. They've changed. But more importantly, you've changed. You've changed in how you receive that person, how you receive what they may say to you, and how you move through that. And be aware that if you are starting to move into some old patterns, to allow your new self to shine forward. So for me, this coming week in Florida is going to be very interesting. I don't have expectations of that nature, but I'm curious. I'm curious to see that dynamic of some of my family that I have not seen, gosh, 3 years or more. I talk to them quite often, but seeing them, being in their energy, being in that same space can bring around maybe some different feelings, some different energies for you. And maybe for me, I don't know, but I also realize I need to set aside the expectations because of who they were. I want to receive them and know the person with an open heart, a loving heart of accepting who they are now. And who knows? They may say, Terry, you've changed, or Bob, you've changed. What's going on with you? I kind of like this new you. And have that conversation. And you can. So sometimes we get into conversations and it's like, this is kind of getting uncomfortable. You don't have to tell them the why, but the outcome of this new person you now are, or this new person you're working towards. Because I think we're always working towards this new person of where you want to be. And so, like in my mind's eye, I have this vision of myself surrounded by all these different people that I've met and helping them and, move through their traumas, their grief, their, wounded little child inside them. And I see that. I can see that so clearly in my mind's eye, but I don't have to. And along with my family. My family's right there with me. And part of my family is my ancestors. It's my grandmother. It's my mom. It's I think my grandfather's there too. And all the past ancestors that I haven't met, but they're a part of my life. That lineage passed down to me over and over again to where I am now. And then there's this other part that as I meet new people or I am meeting my family, people I already know, maybe just walking back into the office space where you work or someone you're going to meet on the Zoom call. Sometimes we feel kind of icky about it. It's like, "Oh, I really don't want to do this. Okay, I'll do it, but I don't really want to do it." So you're kind of setting an intention there before you even started. Those feelings that you've set that intention for, chances are you will have that intention come back to you because you've set that energy to receive what you're expecting back over and over and over again. And as I sit here and talk about this, as an example, I would get all wrapped up in my family in a way that I never felt enough. I never felt accepted for who I was. Now, having said that, I really wasn't sure who I was. I'm the energy of a 2-4 emotional projector. Well, what the heck is that? You may ask yourself, or before I even knew about human design, I was just trying to figure myself out. But when I gathered with my family, I was the quiet one, and I still am. And I would almost set myself in a different area because not knowing all this that I do now, all of their energy that was moving around me was very um, disrupting for me because I have two defined centers, my will and my sacral. Everything else is open. So I feel all this stuff coming in to me from other people, including my family. And I didn't understand that. So I would kind of set myself back a little bit. And to be truthful, there was also an expectation of, okay, I'm going to go, but I'm really not crazy about going because I always feel pretty low when I leave. I love my family. I really do. But I never had a higher frequency of vibration when I was in that space with them. A lot of that also had to do with me because I had a lower frequency vibration going into that gathering. So what I was putting out, I was receiving back over and over and over again until I started healing all these things that I needed to start healing on. And I am so grateful that I did. And there's this other piece that has stuck with me. I listen to Patty Lennon a lot on YouTube, and I really like her. Just, there's something about her that I really connect with. And I think for me, it's at a very deep spiritual level. And she made a comment, and it went something like this. I mean, it's not exact, so forgive me if it's not exact. As we meet people, and as we see people around the world streaming on TV, news, whatever that may be, these people are personalities. Behind that personality is a soul that came down here to be that personality. That was their mission, to help evolve and change and move the world, to move us to where we are more of a collective for good. And we've all seen, someone on our phones or news or something like that. And it's like, no, no. Or someone you don't care to be around. We've all had that. Someone who may have hurt you or betrayed you. And you're like, wait, hold on. And I know I'm asking a lot here. Sometimes I ask a lot of myself too. And so there's a lot of feelings around that. And I totally understand that. But can you look at that person and see their personality as the mission they came here to complete? And behind that is a soul. Behind my personality is a soul that came here and said, I am going to be this 2-4 projector, and I'm going to go through all these life experiences and to help move and change the world. And I know it kind of, as I say it and I'm listening to myself, it's like, okay, this sounds kind of out there, but at the same time, I feel it so much in my heart, in my gut, that it's true. If we can look beyond what the person is doing, what they're saying, what they're putting out there, to the soul behind that. And if we could maybe just remember that a little bit more each day and react to people, as the souls they came here. And what we see, what we experience, what we hear, that's the personality. Personalities evolve, they change. So can we not see them as the old personality that you've always heard, you've always known, and watch with curiosity about how they evolve and how they move and change the world around them? See yourself as a soul behind the personality of the mission your soul came here to complete, to help change, move, and heal the world. I think it's just amazing. I heard that and it landed so hard on me. I think I heard it a couple weeks ago. And I don't always remember things that I hear. I have an open head and open ajna. So it's like in and out unless someone draws the information out of me. They ask me a question or something of that nature. And then I have that information there. But to think of it on my own, to recall it on my own, there's just something that's just not going to work. And I understand that now. I used to think that there was something wrong with me. And then I learned about human design and I was like, no, that's how I'm made. That's how I'm supposed to work. That's how I'm supposed to create and do and give to others. And so that phrase that there is behind that personality is a soul. has stuck with me in my mind, in my heart for I think it's been a couple weeks, like I said. And everyone I see, I recall that phrase and I find myself, I don't know, maybe more loving, more accepting, more curious, I think is what it is about who they really are. And I don't know, it moved my heart. And I wanted to share that with you guys. So acceptance of yourself. So as I move into this week of going to Florida with my family, accepting me, accepting you for who and how you are today, right now, today. And also, and loving yourself. That's a big one. Loving yourself because you got you. Put your hand on your heart, put your hand on your gut. I got you. We got this. Now let's go. And the do could be a healing. It could be putting your arms around somebody. It's like, I am so sorry. Or putting your arms around someone and saying, I love you so much. And they will feel that love energy coming from you. They really, really will. But yeah, it's really accepting myself for who I am and what I was. That was then. This is me now. And I am so different. You're not that person then. You're so different now. And when we can approach that for ourselves and also accept that in others and not have the expectation that they are going to be, speak, do how they were. And you know what? They absolutely might be the person that you remember them to be. And that's okay because you show up as who you really are in that space and they will see, feel, sense the difference. And that's a huge win. That is so much a part of your healing. And it doesn't matter if you started your healing journey a year ago, 2 years ago, 10 years ago, or yesterday. It changes you from the inside out. And it's an experience. There's some things I wished I had not experienced in my past life there. And I fully admit that. But I also look at it from this viewpoint. Had I not gone through and done and experienced all those things previously, I wouldn't be the same person I am today. I don't know what I would be. But would I be here helping you to consider your healing journey and what could so much be possible for you? And I am sure there's going to be some, little comments or something that kind of like, it's like, right, that's their stuff. That is not my energy. I let it move through me. I don't let it sit in me. When I get around other people, a lot of times I have to clear myself of any expectations, even when I walk into the office for the day. And as I feel that energy coming in from other people, because sometimes it's like, whoa, it is a lot. And some people are just their frequency is very low, some are very high, and some I can just feel the anger coming from them. But if I recognize my own, what belongs to me, I let their energy move through me. I don't let it stay in me because that's theirs. So when we can realize and recognize what's theirs and what's ours, and you put theirs down and you don't carry it anymore, that's huge. And while I'm down there and before I go down there and after I get back, there's probably going to be some tapping going on there for me. And that's okay. That's absolutely okay because that means I have another layer I need to work on. That gives me the awareness that there's more there that I need to start to release. And yeah, I don't want to get stuck. I don't want to be stuck. I want to heal that layer of whatever that may look like at that moment in time. Integrate and allow that healing to move through and in me and expand me, but not sit in it and get stuck, not do anything with it. So when we go through a healing, I'm going a little tangent here, say healing of inner child, and you felt like you weren't accepted and you felt alone and you didn't know how to talk to people and they didn't know how to talk to you. So you didn't know how to talk to them. That's an energy you were putting out to them unconsciously. And at the same time, they didn't know how to connect with you because that's also what you were calling in. And so you move through that. you heal that piece, take the time to integrate it, to accept it, to explore it, exploring your feelings around it and letting the feelings come and move through you. And I know that can get uncomfortable. When we don't let the feelings come, we don't recognize and allow ourselves to have them, all of them, we can get stuck in a healing pattern of heal next, heal next, heal next, versus taking the time to integrate, feel, and learn about yourself. We need to integrate and experience that integration, and whatever layer of healing that is coming next, you will know. You will know. You're like, okay, that's kind of vague, but something else will pop up. A memory, a feeling will pop up. And it's going to be like, okay, I need to work on that. I need to work on that. So, yeah, it's got a big week coming this week. And not super crazy about traveling by myself on a plane, but it'll be fun. I'm excited about seeing my family. I love them dearly. And I have no expectations. I will meet them where they're at. I will accept them. I will love them. And if they want to have deeper conversations, I'm here for it. But what can you do today that may help you integrate some of the healing that you may have started on versus pushing to the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, the next thing? Looking for that, okay, I'm done. I'm healed. It's always another layer because we're so complex and we have so much and we hold so much within, sometimes very subconsciously, and we don't realize it for at that time when it happened for our safety, our protection. And as you are ready, those memories will come up. And that's when you want to start thinking about, okay, I got another layer, or okay, this is maybe where I need to start my healing journey. It can go either way. And I'll leave you with this one little thing. I'm going to do a separate video on this. Not sure when, but I'm going to do it. So I talk about tapping a lot, EFT, emotional freedom technique tapping. And sometimes we can kind of get ourselves in a situation where we've just got a lot of stuff coming in at us and a lot of feelings, and it can feel overwhelming. There's a couple things that you can try that I recommend. So right here is the thymus gland in between your breasts, and just tap on it lightly, hard. It's like, this is not mine. This is not mine. And another one that I do use, I used to use it a lot. I do recommend for people, and it's around family. It's around parents. And sometimes we have some feelings around parents. And I don't know if you can see this, but like right here, just tap on it very lightly and repeat, I forgive them. I love them. They were doing the best they could at the time. This aspect I have around my family, I forgive them. I love them. They were doing the best they could at the time. And it's very subtle, but it's also very, very powerful. And you can use this. I used it around my childhood a lot. I found it to be very effective. I recommended it to other people. And usually if I'm in the room with them and I show them this or on a call, and I can feel their energy coming in at me, and I'll just get chills all over my whole body. And it's pretty amazing. And they usually feel that from me as well. And like I said, it is effective. It's not a one and done. So please don't think it's a one and done. Any sort of healing, any sort of expansion we want to do within takes time. And if it was one and done and easy, holy cow, we'd all be just like healed and awesome. It takes time. So give yourself grace, give yourself time. Look at where you were, look at where you are. Picture in your mind's eye where you want to be and expand towards that. Expand towards that. If you would like to know how to work with me more at a deeper level, because we do, and we kind of talk a lot of surface stuff here, and we get much deeper on calls with me. But I will put my email and down below and a link to my calendar if you would like to schedule some time just to kind of like check it out, see what's going on. Do we click? And then we can talk about other things at that point of what that looks like for you and how long you would like that to last. Anyway, have an amazing day and we will talk soon.